You don't need $10,000 saved up, you don't need a fancy brand kit, and you definitely don't need to quit your job first. You need a laptop, a few hours, and honestly, less than $100. I'm gonna walk you through exactly how to start a business from nothing, step by step. And this is the path a lot of solopreneurs actually take, whether they realize that they're doing it or not. But let's start with the first mistake almost everyone makes, which is assuming they need to form an LLC before they can start selling anything. You don't necessarily. The moment you start doing business as one person without any formal paperwork, you're already a sole proprietor. It's not a workaround, it's just how the law works. There's no filing, no fee, there's nothing to set up. If you sell a product on Etsy this weekend or you take on a freelance client tomorrow, you're legally operating a business right now. So the very first thing that you can let go of is this idea that you need permission or paperwork to begin. Save the LLC conversation for later, once there's actual liability risk or revenue to protect. Now let's talk about what you do need to get moving, because it's probably a lot less than you think. If you're selling a product or a service, you need some way for people to find you and some way for people to pay you. That's it in the beginning. For finding you, you don't need a custom web development team or a $5,000 branding package. A free Canva website or a card page or a $12 a month Squarespace plan is more than enough to look legitimate and get your first sales. Maybe get a social media account where you can run a few low-cost ads too. People aren't buying your website or your Instagram. They're buying you and what you're offering. Don't let these become procrastination projects. For getting paid, Stripe and PayPal are both free to set up. They only take a small percentage when money actually moves, so there's no upfront costs to worry about. You can literally send someone a payment link within the hour and have money in your account by tomorrow. If you're selling in person, let's say at a farmer's market or at an event, something like Square lets you tap a card reader into your phone for basically nothing upfront either. The next piece is bookkeeping, and I want to be really clear here because people massively overcomplicate this in the beginning. On day one, when you're barely making any money, all you need is a simple spreadsheet with a couple of columns, money in and money out. Google Sheets is free, and it can do the job until your business is big enough to justify paying someone to help. The mistake people tend to make is using the spreadsheet too long and then really messing up their books and having to pay someone to dig back and fix it. So that brings us in at under $100. We pay for a basic website and maybe a few social media ads. I'd also prioritize a separate bank account. You can open one under your own name as a sole proprietor, no LLC required, and most banks offer free business checking with no minimum balance. The reason this matters so much is that mixing your personal and business money together is one of the biggest things that makes bookkeeping and taxes a nightmare later. If every dollar that comes in and goes out for the business runs through one dedicated account, your future self will thank you every single tax season. That's the $100, and honestly, it's usually free to open a bank account, so you might not even spend that. Let's talk about the psychology of starting with no money now, because I think that this is actually the underrated advantage here. When you don't have a cushion of savings or a loan sitting behind you, you're forced to validate the idea with real customers before you spend anything. You find out if people actually want to pay for what you're offering before you sink money into inventory or a bunch of ads or a fancy setup. That's not a limitation. That's actually the smartest way to build a business. And it's exactly how a huge number of successful solopreneurs got started. Revenue-funded growth beats debt-funded growth almost every time when you're one person figuring out if an idea works. Now, no money doesn't mean zero cost forever. It means no upfront investment before you have your first paying customer. Once you make that first sale, you reinvest. Maybe that means finally paying for a proper website or buying a small batch of inventory or running a little bit of paid advertising to see if it scales. Let your actual customers tell you where to spend instead of guessing before you've sold a single thing. Let's also talk about time, because that's the resource you're actually spending here, not money. In the first few weeks, focus almost all of your energy on getting your first handful of customers, even if it means personally messaging people, posting in relevant online communities, or asking friends and family to spread the word. This unglamorous manual outreach is what almost every successful solo business did before they had any kind of marketing engine. Don't skip this step by trying to build a perfect automated funnel on day one. There's no funnel powerful enough to replace those first honest conversations with real potential customers. So when does it make sense to actually formalize things? Here's a simple signal to watch for. Once you're bringing in consistent revenue, say a few $100s a month for a few months in a row, that's probably a cue to start thinking about forming an LLC, opening that dedicated business bank account if you didn't listen and you haven't already, and then possibly looking at how you want to file your taxes going forward. Before that point, you're testing. After that point, you're operating, and it's worth protecting what you've built with some actual structure. One more thing worth mentioning, because people ask this a lot. If you are worried about liability, even before you have revenue, general liability insurance might be cheaper than you expect, and it could be a lower cost way to get some protection while you're still in that early testing phase before an LLC makes financial sense for you. It's worth a quick search for your specific industry to see what a policy would actually cost. The bottom line here is that starting under $100 isn't a compromise you're making because you can't afford to do it right in the beginning. It can be a smart, low-risk way to prove an idea works before you commit real capital to it. Nail down a way for people to find you, a way for people to pay you, and a simple way to track it. And you've got everything you need to get your first sale this week. If you want to know exactly when to make the jump to forming an LLC once the business starts working, I've got a video coming soon, and I'll walk you through the entire process, step by step. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.